everyone. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, October the 10th, and I am April Davis with April Davis Creations, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And I'm so happy you're here with me tonight. This is my to-go class, and as always, I'm just double checking to make sure that I have gone live, and I have, so that's great. Last week I had a little bit of difficulty and I don't know if you watched the Facebook Live on Facebook. That was great. You didn't see anything happen. But if you happen to watch it on YouTube, it was kind of crazy. We couldn't get the video off of Facebook Live. And so my husband literally took the phone and recorded my Facebook Live, so we had a video recording to upload to YouTube. So it does look pretty strange, but I did a test this morning, so I'm really hoping that whatever the issue was isn't an issue today. But it doesn't really matter right now because you guys are here with me on the Facebook Live. So if you are here, please do say hello. I'm double checking things. Yes, we got it. Say hello, and I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want to do a few just reminders of things that are going on, and then I want to get into the cards because the cards are going to take us a bit of time tonight. I'm excited about the set. So let me go ahead and I'm going to move over to my desktop screen. And I just want to remind everybody that we have a kit sale going on right now for the month of October. Let me come up here and join you guys. See if I can do this. There we go. Yes, we have a kit sale going on. All the kits in our collection. So if you go out to the online exclusives and just type in kits, all the kits in the online exclusives are up to 30% off. So that's exciting. And there's actually 2 new kits that have been listed as well. Additionally, let me move over. I want to remind everybody about the starter kit special that we have going on right now. This is like the best deal around right now. For $99, you can select $155 worth of product of your choice. That means if you wanted to select the large cut and emboss, you could do that and it would be part of your kit and you'd still have money to spend. Or maybe you like the glass mat that I work on. That could be part of the kit and then some. So think about it. I mean, I'm looking for happy shoppers. There is no commitment. You can just shop with your discount and enjoy the product and have fun, while you're creating. That said, I do have a Facebook Live scheduled for next Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. And basically, I'm going to be there. I'm just going to kind of share with you my story in Stampin' Up! And try to answer some questions. If you're there and ask questions, I will answer your questions as best I can. Because certainly I know that there are questions. I mean, is it as easy as just paying $99 and getting $155 in product and then you get a discount? Yeah, it really is. But I know you have other questions. So next Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I am doing a Facebook Live to address all of your questions. All right, let's go to my website. And when you go to my website, if you go over to classes and clubs, you'll see the to-go class. I'll talk about that last, but I wanted to remind you about the Create Happiness Club. The Create Happiness Club, today is the last day to register. So these cards, and I've got these cards, I wanted to show them to you again. Let me see if I can get them in the camera. They're so pretty. And this is the last chance to register for these. So I'm trying to get these into the camera so you can see them one last time. But after 11:30 tonight, I've got it open till 11:30. This one goes this way. After 11:30 tonight, you will not be able to enroll into the Create Happiness Club because I have to shut it down so that I can get the product ordered so that I can get the kits all ready to ship out to you. So kits will ship approximately November the 4th. In the kit, you're going to receive a half a pack of designer series paper. You're going to receive a full package of embellishments. You're going to receive a written tutorial. You're going to receive a, hi mom, so good to see you. You're going to receive the written tutorial, and you're also going to receive a recorded playlist of me making each one of those cards. So you can follow the recording of making the cards, or you can follow the tutorial, or you can follow both. Plus, you're going to get all the cardstock that you need for the cards. So everything you need, with the exception of the bundle. You will need the bundle, which is the Winterly Treetops bundle. So you're going to want to make sure that you have that bundle, and then you should be ready to go. So anyway, today's the last day for that. The other thing that I wanted to show you, if I go back up here, is that we have a surprise holiday card box available to you. I have partnered with my friend Marcia in New York. We had so much fun doing this. And what this is it's a box full of what you need in order to create 11 cards. But what makes this fun is that you are going to make 11 cards from one 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. Now, you're going to get a full pack of designer series paper. So you're going to get 12 sheets, a full pack of designer series paper. You're going to get a full pack of embellishments, and you're going to get 5 yards of ribbon to go with this so that you can decorate your cards and such. But what's fun about it is all the cards are made from one sheet of designer series paper. So if you do the math, you're going to have plenty enough paper to make additional cards. And these cards are so simple and so pretty that if you are wanting to create your holiday cards this year, this is the perfect kit to go with that. So all that information is out on my website. You can just click register now. We are taking subscriptions, if you will, or enrollment through the 27th of October. We need to do that because we want to be able to ship this kit out to you by November the 12th. So you've got plenty of time to do your creating so you can get your cards created and get them in the mail. So that's going on right now as well. And it's a surprise because we're not sharing what the designer series paper is. We're not sharing with you what the ribbon is or the embellishments are. You're going to be surprised. But I can assure you, they're beautiful. They were a lot of fun. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about the to-go class for just a second because that's what this is, a to-go class. And basically, I will show you 3 cards. I'll show these in person in just a second, but I'll show you 3 cards, how to create them. And then if you are interested in the kit, you can receive the kit for free by placing an order in my online store. You're going to want to make sure that you use this hostess code. And that's my clue that you're interested in the kit. But you want to do this by next Monday, and then I will make note and get your kit cut and shipped out to you by the 15th of October. Additionally, you're going to receive not only the product that you need to create these cards, but you're also going to get a tutorial that will walk you through all of it. And then, of course, you'll have the video that is on Facebook, but it's also being uploaded to YouTube. The one thing that I'll be sharing with you is the stamp set, the stamp bundle that I'm using. I'm using the More Than Autumn bundle. And if you want the cards to look exactly like my cards, then you might want to order that bundle. However, you may have something very similar in your library. And if you do, the kit would work for that as well. So let me close out of this, come back to you for just a second. And I'm going to get my desktop ready, and I'm going to actually show you the cards that we're going to be making. So let me take myself down off of there, and here we go. Okay, so let's look at the cards that we're going to be making tonight. Well, actually, let me introduce the bundle to you to start. We are going to be working with the More Than Autumn bundle. This bundle was a lot of fun to work with. There's a lot to it. You can see all the various sentiments that are in here that you can create focused on autumn, but you've also got your coffee and your pumpkin pie and your donuts and candy canes and just all kinds of things. Well, in addition to that, So you've got all those stamps, but you also have a lot of dies. And so tonight's cards will be piecing together a lot of what we're working on and utilizing these dies, which is what makes it so much fun. So let me show you the cards. We have this card first, and this card is a fun little card because it's a smaller card, but we use the 4 by 5.5 base, but then the card itself is a smaller card. So that's fun. And then we have one that we use the Calypso Coral on, and we have pumpkin, but we also have some pumpkin latte inside as well. So we'll be doing that one. And then this one's fun, just Hello Autumn, bringing in the leaves. I'm going to show some embossing, and we've got some hot chocolate here. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I have one more card I'm going to show you. And the reason I'm showing it to you now, we're not making it. We're not going to make it. But I wanted to show it to you now because I'm afraid I'll forget at the end. But you can also take this set and transition into the holiday season, you know, for Christmas. You've got peppermint cocoa, and we've got a peppermint cocoa here with a candy cane, and I was just having so much fun with this set. And even though we're not making this card tonight, I wanted to be sure and share it with you because there's a lot you can do with this set. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to work on this card first. So let me bring out my kit. And we've got our basic white that obviously is going to be our card. And then I've got some scrap basic white that we're going to be stamping on. But I've got my card base. This is pecan pie. And then I've got some of the designer series paper. And then another piece of designer series paper that's actually going to go on the card. And let me see if I've got anything else in here. I do. I used the latte designer series paper. I can't believe I don't have it here right now to show it to you guys. But it didn't come with this particular bundle. It came with that latte set that we had. So anyway, I'm utilizing that paper. And then I've got some ribbon that I've used before. It's called the natural, it's just a natural ribbon. But I'll show you what I'm doing with that in just a second. So let's go ahead and let's do our stamping first. So I'm going to move all of this stuff off to the side. And we're going to stamp. And we need to stamp our coffee cup. We need to stamp our marshmallows. We need to stamp our cinnamon stick. Bring that in. And let me see. We're going to stamp our gingerbread. And then we've also got our sentiment that we're going to stamp. Look at all the stamping that we're doing for this card. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get started with our cup. And then we'll be doing our embossing, our cutting as soon as we get all this stamping done. But I've got to get it stamped, and then I've got to get it colored. The coloring will go fast. I'm going to bring out my mat, my piercing mat, because I like to be able to have a little bit of cushion under here. So we're going to do this. So we'll get our coffee cup stamped first. And then I'm going to have my Stampin' Chamois here ready to go to clean these stamps off so I don't make a mess. And then we're going to do some marshmallows. So I'll get the marshmallows stamped here. Okay, and then we're going to do our little gingerbread because I guess my latte is going to be kind of a cinnamon latte or a gingerbread latte. So we'll go ahead and get our gingerbread stamped. And then, of course, we have to have a cinnamon stick. So let's get that stamped as well. We'll put that up here. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp the sentiment. So the first part of the sentiment, let me put this stuff away. The first part of the sentiment is going to be stamped in Lost Lagoon. So we'll go ahead and do that. And basically, it's going to say, this calls for. So here's our stamp, this calls for. Go ahead and get that inked up. And I'm just going to, I can't really see very good, so I'm going to do the best I can without getting my head in the camera. But I think I might have to do that to line up my hot cocoa. And then the hot cocoa is going to be stamped in the pecan pie. So we'll get that done. we'll bring this out. Got hot cocoa. I'm going to bring this forward just a little bit, guys, so that I'm able to see what I'm doing, but I'll try to make it so you guys can see too. But I'm going to try to center this and get it up as close as I can. So we're going to go about right here. That looks good. I did good on that. All right, so let's do some coloring, some quick coloring, and then we will do some die cutting. So I'm going to bring in my Lost Lagoon Stampin' Blends. I'm also going to bring in my pecan pie. We're going to do our cinnamon stick and pecan pie. And I'm going to do the gingerbread in our crumb cake. So let's go ahead and we'll get our gingerbread done first. I was looking for my light crumb cake. I don't have it right here right now. So our gingerbread's going to be a little bit darker. And then what we'll do is we will do his little feet and arms in the pecan pie. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make my marshmallows stick out a little bit more. So I'm just putting a little bit of coloring on it. Not a lot. I just want to add a little bit so that they look like marshmallows, or there's some definition to them. All right, let's take my pecan pie, and I'm going to color in his little feet and arms. So we'll do that really quick. And then I think I'm going to do my cinnamon stick in the pecan pie as well, but I'm going to use a lighter pecan pie on that. So we've got our cinnamon stick here. And then I'm going to take my Lost Lagoon, and let's go ahead and color in the cup. So we'll get that done. And then we can, once we've got this all taken care of, we can start to do our die cutting so that we can assemble. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of crumb cake to, I don't like using my brush tip for just regular coloring, so I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of that. And then I think we're ready to go. So everything's there. Let me pull these out of the way. And then I'm going to bring back in the dies. I haven't pulled them out of my case yet. So we're looking for the cup. So we've got the cup here. And then we need the marshmallows. So the marshmallow die is here. We need the gingerbread die. This little die right here is our gingerbread die. Whoops. So we've got that. And then this one here with the curve at the top is my cinnamon stick. And then last but not least, I am actually utilizing the Christmas label set. And I'm going to use this label die in the Christmas label sets to cut out my This Calls for Cocoa. So let me find some tape here, and I'll get these all taped down, and then I'm going to try to get these all run through together. So we'll get this set up the way that I want it. Okay, so we'll tape that down, and then we'll get our cup taped down. Get this all lined up. Okay, and then we've got some marshmallows. Hopefully I can run these all through at the same time. I might have stamped them too close together, which would mean that potentially the dies will overlap, but so far I'm good. I may have a little bit of an issue with my cinnamon stick, but we'll see. One more to go. Let's see if we can get this lined up. And it looks like I may have a bit of an issue. I'm going to try, because it is, I don't really care about the bottom part of it. It's the top part that I want. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to test this out, because I can always trim it off. All right, let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss and my plates that are well loved. Okay, and then we're just going to crank all this through at the same time. All right, move this out of the way. And let's see what we got. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to save these tapes. We've got our label. That turned out really good. And I'll just set these off to the side over here. We've got our cup. That's ready to go. We have our marshmallows. Nice. Okay, we've got our gingerbread here. He cut out. We get to just do all the assembling. And then it looks like my cinnamon stick. Let's check it out. I don't want to lose these little dies. He cut out all except for the very bottom, which I anticipated because it was over the gingerbread. But I'm just going to trim this up right here because this is going to go behind my cup anyway. So it all worked out and I was able to cut everything in one cut. All right, so let's go ahead and start to build our card now that everything's done. So we've got, first of all, the designer series paper that we're going to utilize, and we're going to put this off to the left-hand side of our card base. So let's go ahead and get that adhered. So we've got that. We can get this centered up. Alrighty. And then this is going to be our card base. So we're going to fold that in half and burnish it. And we're going to take this designer series paper and put it on the front of that. Make sure we get this all centered up. Looks like that's a little off with the fold, so I'm going to attempt to see if I can fix it while I've got it here. Not a big deal, but I just want to make sure it's straight. All right, now what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll center it on the card. Glue on here, get this centered, and again I'm just going to pick it up so that I can look at it and make sure that I'm happy with where it's at. I am. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this circle and we're going to adhere it. Just kind of adds a little bit of background to our coffee cup that we're going to be adhering. Get that little lid out of the way. All right, we'll put this down right about here. Okay, now let's go ahead and put together our coffee cup before we put it down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the marshmallows on. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my coffee cup over and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And I'm actually going to bring in my Teflon mat, or my silicone mat, I should say. Because what I can do is I can take my marshmallows and put them on the back and just kind of push this down to make sure that I get it adhered. Because the other thing that I want to do is I want to take some glue and put it on the back of, or I'm actually going to put it on the front of my cinnamon stick. And we're going to, this will pick up, the glue doesn't stick to the silicone mat. So we'll pick this up and we'll put our cinnamon stick in about right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this down so everything can adhere. In the meantime, I'm going to take a little dimensional. Let me see, find my little dimensionals here. And we're going to put a little dimensional on the back of our little gingerbread. And then we'll take the gingerbread, and let me take the back off of that, and we will center him in the cup. So let me put that in the bin. And then I'm actually going to use my tweezers to help me because I want to get it centered, and my fingers will get in the way and I won't be able to see. So now we've got that. So now our cup is all put together. Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute little cup? All right, so we're going to bring this back in, and we're going to actually put some dimensionals on the back of our cup. So I'm going to bring the big dimensionals back, and we'll put one here, and we will put one up here. I think that's pretty much all I need. So we'll pull the backs off. Did I get that one off? Yes, I did. All right, and then we'll take our cup, and we're going to set our cup right in the center here. Okay, there we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put dimensionals. Surprise, surprise. We're going to put dimensionals on the back of our label. So I'm actually going to do 3, just because I don't want any sag in the middle. So we'll do that. Pull these off. And I'm going to take our label, make sure it's turned the right direction, and we are going to line it up, center it as best we can. I'm going to pick it up and look at it. That looks good. Okay, we're going to put that there. Then what we're going to do is we are going to take some of that ribbon that I have right here. This ribbon comes in a long and in thick pieces. I don't know if you guys remember it. I've used it before, but it comes in a really thick piece. So what I like to do is I like to cut it apart. So I will take my ribbon snips, and I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to get it close enough, but there's like lines through there. It's all woven together. And so basically what I can do is I can cut off or cut in between the lines, and I want it to be too thick, like TWO thick. So I'm going to cut right between them so that I've got 2, and we'll go ahead and get this cut. Got it? All right, we'll put that off to the side. Now what I can do is I can take this, and I'm going to tie a bow with it. So I'll get my bow tied, and we'll get it adjusted the way that I want it. Make it pretty much the same size on each end. And then I'll take my ribbon snips, and I'm just going to trim it off. And then we will take a glue dot. Here are my glue dots. I'm going to use my take your pick to grab one of those dots and just kind of roll it up into a ball. And then I'll put it right here. I'm going to put it right here at that point, and then I can take my bow and press that down, and this card is done. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, I love these cards. You know, it's fun making them the first time, but I love having them the second time because I love to be able to share these cards as well. All right, so let's move into card number 2. We are going to make pumpkin pie. We're using the Calypso Coral card base. I have a piece of basic white cardstock. Then I have a piece, this is also from the latte paper, and I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the paper. I'll try to remember it and post it, but it's part of the latte set that we have. And then so I'm using that, and then I have a big circle that I've punched, or I've used my my favorite set. I have it right here, my Stylish Shapes. I'm using the large circle from my Stylish Shapes to work with. And then I've already gone ahead and I've die cut the pumpkin. See, it's probably better on white, but isn't that cute? So I went ahead and already die cut that for you because we're going to be doing some die cutting with the stamping. But I've got a piece of scrap for my sentiment. I went ahead and I die cut my whipped cream that goes on top of my pumpkin pie. And then I have to go ahead and stamp my pumpkin pie and color that. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way. Oh, I do have to stamp another cup. So we're gonna do another cup and we're gonna color it and we are going to put it on the inside of the card. So let's go ahead and get our stamping done first. So we're gonna take this scrap piece and I'm looking for my pie. I've got my pie, I've got my cup. I've already done my whipped cream. And then I've got a pumpkin that I need to stamp inside my cup. And then I've got my sentiment. So let's do the sentiment first. And I'm gonna bring back my mat again. And I'm gonna use this piece. And basically, it's going to be nothing's better than. And then we're gonna talk about pumpkin. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm going to stamp at the very end of my paper, and then I will just trim out the top part of it and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to use my early espresso ink. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we're going to turn this around, tap, 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 tap. We don't need to get too much. And then I'm just going to line it up at the edge of this paper. So we'll do that. Yep, I like that. That worked. All right, so we've got that done. We'll trim this out in just a second. I'm going to clean off my stamp, and then we'll get out the Memento Black, and we'll get this piece out, and we're going to stamp our pie first. Make sure I get a good coating there. So we'll stamp out the pie. Clean that off. We're going to stamp our cup. And we'll put it right here. And those are the only two that we really need to do and cut out. But I am going to, hopefully I left enough room. I might have to, I got those two a little close, which means that I may have to cut out one and then cut out the other. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, since I'm stamping, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this down just so that I can see a little bit better. And I'm going to stamp my pumpkin in the center of this. Sorry guys, it'll go fast. All right, there we go. We got our pumpkin. Alrighty, so let's get this put up and let's get our Stampin' Blends out. I've got pumpkin pie for the pumpkin, and then I'm going to use my dark crumb cake for the crust. So let's go ahead and get our crust all colored in. Get that done first. Got a dark crust going here. My light crumb cake didn't make it over here. I'm working on some projects for a fair that I'm going to be doing at the end of this month. And I've been doing a lot of coloring for some things that I'm doing. And as a result of that, some of my Stampin' Blends are still over on my other workstation. So let's go ahead and get this colored in for our cup. Excuse me. But I'm using these same stamps for a set that I'm using for, I'll show you next week when I get it done, but basically it's hot cocoa, and it will include a hot cocoa packet. And so I'm putting the hot cocoa cup on the front of it, and so of course I needed to be able to color that in, and I'm using the light crumb cake. Okay, I gotta do my pumpkin pie, right? Okay, let's go ahead and we'll color this pumpkin pie in while we've got the orange out. but I'm having a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time cutting labels because, or I should say not labels, tags, so that I have some Christmas tags for anybody who's interested in tags for the fair. There's nothing better than a homemade tag to put on a gift. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me put a little bit of color here and a little bit of color here. Oh, and maybe a little bit up here. I'm kind of doing some shading in here, and then I'm gonna take my lighter color again and just blend this all together. Blend, 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 and it'll all blend together, and then it'll just look like shading, which is fun. I mean, that's what I love about the stamping blends is they're alcohol markers and they just all blend together. Okay, don't want to lose my whipped cream that's going on top of that. So let's go ahead and bring our cut and emboss back out. And let me see, I've got my cup die over here, and I don't believe I had pulled out my pumpkin pie die. So I need to pull out my pumpkin pie die, which is this one. Is this it? That doesn't look like it. That looks like whipped cream. Did I pull out the pumpkin pie die? Am I missing it? Oh, it's right here. I'm like, oh no, I can't find my pumpkin pie die. It's right here. All right, we're gonna have to cut it first. I'm gonna have to do two. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do two passes. And my cup, I'm gonna cut these two apart because I'm thinking one's gonna cut into the other. And so this is just a note to myself, don't stamp things so close together. If I don't stamp them so close together, then I'm cool. But as soon as you stamp them close together, your dies are not gonna fit. So the best way to make this work is to cut the two apart, and then I can make them both fit. And this one's really, really close, so I'm probably not gonna get much of a cut right there, but I think it'll be fine, and I can trim it out with my scissors as well if I need to. And you'll see what I mean when I get this run through. All right, so let me bring these back. And we've got here and here. So we'll run them together, which is great. So I'm gonna move this off to the side. These dies, all of these dies are really little. So the small cut and emboss is just perfect for this. If you've got the large one's gonna work for sure. But the small one is just perfect because these are all little dies. All right, let me see. How did we do? Actually, you can't even tell. I did really, really good. All right, so we've got those. Now we can start to assemble our card. Oh, I gotta cut this out. All right, so let's go ahead. I think I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna cut straight across. So, oh, you didn't see that. You did not see that. I was cutting my paper with my ribbon snips. That's not good. All right, there we go. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut a little angle here, and I'm gonna cut a little angle here, and I have my little banner. All right, so now we can start putting this together, and I'm moving those ribbon snips out of the way. All right, so let's start to put this together. So we're gonna bring in our card base to start, get it lined up, and then I'm gonna finish the edge. Okay, and then I'm gonna layer my plaid designer series paper on my white, just to add a little bit of interest and make it pop from the Calypso coral paper. I think it would have been fine, but I also feel like it might have blended in too much, and I really wanted this paper to pop out. So let's go ahead and get this adhered, and I'm gonna just do some sliding around to make sure I get it centered the way I want it centered. A little bit more room on this side. Okay, and now what we'll do is we're gonna take this and adhere it to our card base. going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick it up and make sure I've got it centered the way that I want it centered. I believe I do. Okay, and then I also have a piece to go on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere the piece on the inside as well. So let's go ahead and get that done. Whoops. Okay. Okay. All right, so now let's start building our little circle here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere my pumpkin. And to adhere my pumpkin, since it's so thin, I'm going to use my tweezers to flip it over. And then I love the fact that I have this glue bottle, this precision tip glue bottle, that I'm literally just going to do like little dots periodically along here. You don't need a lot of glue. You don't want a lot of glue squishing out. So I'm doing the dots. Can you see the dots that I'm doing? I'm just doing little dots along here. I don't have to hit every spot, just periodically. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to flip over my pumpkin, and then I can put it down. And then if you want to, you could actually take a block to hold it down for just a second. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down my pumpkin pie, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to put down my whipped cream before I actually put my pumpkin down, or maybe I can put the pumpkin down and then I'll put down the whipped cream. So we'll go ahead and move this, and I'm going to take my pumpkin and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to let my tweezers help me with placement. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue behind my pumpkin, flip it over, and then I can get this centered where I want it to be. So now we've got my pumpkin, and then we'll add some whipped cream. So I'd like to see where my whipped cream is going to go. A little bit of glue there, and let me see, I want it to go right about maybe here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got our pumpkin there, and then I'm going to take my pumpkin spice latte, and I'm going to put my pumpkin spice latte inside my card. So I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. Don't need a lot. And then let me see, I'll turn my pumpkin spice this way. And then there's plenty of room to write my message. So we've got the inside done. Now what I'll do is I'll take my circle and I'm going to actually put dimensionals behind it. So let's go ahead and get that done. Oops. Here, and then I'm going to put one in the center. Okay, and then let me see, grab my take your pick, pull the backs off. Get rid of those backings. Turn this around. And let's see, I want my pumpkin to go right about here. I think it looks good. So we're going down. Okay, and then one of the last things I'm going to do, we're not done yet, but now we need to get our sentiment on. Nothing's better than pumpkin. So I'm just going to take the sentiment and I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of glue right in the center. It's going to hang off the edges of the circle. So I'm really just interested in getting the center done, and I want to make sure that I get it fairly straight. So I'm just giving it a quick look. Okay, we've got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some linen thread. I love linen thread. It's a staple for me, and I'm going to do a double bow. So I'm just going to double it up. and then tie my bow. All right, get my bow tied, get my ends down where they need to be, and then I'll trim it off. I want to tighten it up. Let me see, down this way. But I think I need to shorten this side. Which one is which? Nope, not that one. All right, so it must be, nope, not that one. I keep shortening the wrong one. I'm just gonna pull this out just a little bit. All right. Whoops. Let me just pull this out a little bit. It's not supposed to be this hard. So I'm gonna pull the short one. All right, I think we're getting there. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna take my ribbon snips that I put away and I'm gonna trim it here and I'm gonna trim it here. See if they're about the same size. They are not. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like for them to be similar to the same size. All right, fix my bow one more time. Kind of got a little twisted, I think. So let's see. Because it's twisted, it's giving me a little bit of grief. All right, I'm going with it. Okay, let's just find a glue dot and we'll fix it later. All right, my glue dots, where did they go? Oh, right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take another glue dot and we're gonna put it right down here in the middle behind, underneath the pumpkin. And then we can take our bow and we'll set it here. And that doggone twisted bow is bugging me, but it'll do. There we go. All right, one more thing. I have, let me see if I can find them. I have some bling. We're gonna use the adhesive back swirl dots. These are fun. They really do have swirls in them. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So I'm gonna take a couple of these and we're gonna put one up here. I think I'm gonna take another one. I'm gonna put it right here and then we're gonna take a third one. And I like to do mine in kind of like triangles, oblong triangles. But anyway, now we've got our second card done. So fun. And don't forget, we've got some spice latte, pumpkin latte in there. All right, moving on. Card number 3. Oh, we're doing good on time. Okay, this is card number 3. And basically for card number 3, since I've shown you how to do everything, I'm kind of speeding this up a little bit. So what do we have? We have some crumb cake cardstock. I have a piece of basic white cardstock. I've actually stamped, and I'm going to show you a little bit of coloring, but I've also punched everything out. So you won't have to watch me die cut again. But I did want to give you just a few little tips on the coloring part of it. So before we go there, this piece, I embossed just half of it because the card's going to go this way. I embossed half of it with our dotted circles 3D embossing folder. I just wanted a little bit of interest on the card. So normally if you were going to run it through your cut and emboss, you would run it through this way, right? But I only wanted to get this side of my card. So if I put it in this way, it's not going to go through my cut and emboss because this is sticking out. So for this particular one, I had to put it through going at the bottom, and then I was able to take it through and everything was fine. So now I have that embossed piece. Let's go ahead and we are going to fold up our card base and burnish the edges of it. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and I do need to do some stamping. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp Hello Autumn. And let's see, we have Autumn and we have Hello. So I'm going to put a couple of these stamps back so I have some additional blocks that I can use. And I'm going to put my little gingerbread back and I'm going to grab my Hello, which is right here, so it will fit on this little block. And then I'm going to put my hot cocoa back. and I'm going to look for my autumn. So, hello autumn. Here we go, autumn. And then we'll put autumn on here. Okay, so now we've got those, and I'm actually going to be stamping them in the pecan pie. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring back my mat again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do autumn first, because I have to line these up, and I'm not quite sure. Let me see. I'm going to try autumn first. So we'll get autumn here. Okay. So we've got autumn. Not a straight autumn, but we do have an autumn. And then, let me see. Go ahead and put this on the chamois real quick. And then we're going to do hello. And so I know you guys are not going to be able to see very well, but I want to make sure that I get this fairly decent. Do I want it straight above, or I'm going to go off to the side? All right, we'll see how we do. Okay, we've got it. It's a little angled, but that's all right. It's all good. All right, so we've got the hello autumn. And now what we would do is we would add the coffee cup. But I want to show you coloring on the coffee cup. Now, I don't have the same colors. Where's my little piece that has the coffee on it? Okay. I don't have the same colors, but I don't know if you noticed when I was coloring the other one. Oh, look what I found. I found the light crumb. Oh, that's dark crumb cake. Okay, never mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pumpkin. I actually was using the cherry cobbler on this one, but I'm going to take the pumpkin, and I'm just going to show you real quickly that what you can do is you can take your lighter color, and you might have seen me do this on the pumpkin one that I was doing before, but then take your darker one and pull color in from the edges. And when you do that, and you bring your marker, your lighter color back in, and you blend this all together, basically what you're doing is you're adding some dimension to the cup, because the cup is round, right? So when you do that, it kind of puts the highlights on each edge of the cup and gives you that rounded look for the cup. So I wanted to show that to you. And then of course you saw me take the crumb cake previously, and I go along the edges of the ice. I would use the lighter crumb cake. This is the dark crumb cake. But if you just do like 3 edges on the ice, then it gives the ice a little bit of a dimension as well. Okay. All right. So we've got that all done. Now what we can do is we can start building this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, I don't know if I can erase that or not. I see a mark. Oh, it's part of the embossing. Never mind. All right, we're good. Hi, Diane. I'm so glad you were able to join. I keep forgetting to look up at my comments, but I see you there. Thank you for joining. It's like you guys are here. You were just with me this weekend, and you're back. Yay. All right, let's go ahead and get this centered. Okay. That. Make sure it's where I want it to be. I think I got a little bit of my hand on it, so I've got a little bit of ink issue. I'm going to use my Mono Sand Eraser. You guys probably can't even see it, but I can see it, so I'm just going to attempt to sand off a little bit of this ink so that it doesn't look like I have a fingerprint. It's not bad, but I can see it. I missed the beginning, but I'll catch the replay. Okay, hopefully it'll be better than the last replay. I don't know if you guys watched that on the YouTube, but I think it's working tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to build my, let me find my silicone mat again. I'm going to build my cocoa, much like I did. Actually, I'm calling it cocoa, but I think it's going to be like a pumpkin latte because I'm going to put a pumpkin on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my marshmallows down, and I'm using my silicone mat so that I can get that adhered. And then we're going to take the cinnamon stick, because a pumpkin latte with a cinnamon stick sounds amazing. All right, so we're gonna take our cinnamon stick and place it here. And then I'm gonna push this down and just let that set for just a second. And while that is setting, I'm gonna bring this back in and I'm gonna put little bitty dimensionals behind my leaves. So I'm gonna bring in the little dimensionals and we're gonna put one behind each leaf. And we are going to place our falling leaves. All right, let's get the backs of these off. Here, there's so little. My fingers are sticky. All right, we'll get this one off, and then we'll get this one off. Okay, we've got these ready to go. So again, I'm just gonna use my tweezers to help place them. But I'm gonna put one here, and let's see, we'll do another one up here, and I'm just gonna have them look like they're falling. Maybe this one right here, and then we'll do this one, whoops, stuck to me. We'll do this one right here. Okay, very good. So now we've got our falling leaves. I think I've got it on a little dot, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And now what I can do is I can add my pumpkin to my latte. So we're going to take another little dimensional and add the pumpkin. These little dimensionals are perfect for these little pieces. And we'll place that right here. Isn't that cute? My little pumpkin latte. And then we'll put dimensionals, bigger dimensionals on the back of this one. And let me see, we'll put one here and one here. Whoop. Get the backs off. Grab all of those. And let's see, put my latte right about there. And then the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring in, these are the cherry cobbler and pearl back adhesive berries, and they actually look like berries, but it has, besides the berries, it also has just the little dots. So I'm just going to use the berries because my cup is cranberry, so I thought, or not cranberry, but cherry cobbler, so these are going to be perfect for this particular card. So we'll do this. Let's see, put that there. I'm going to move these out of the way. And now we have card number 2 done, or it's card number 3 done. I'm having so much fun. All right, so we have card number 3. I'm going to bring them all back in so you guys can see them. We've got card number 3, and then the second card that we did was the one with the Calypso Coral and the pumpkin pie. So we've got that one. And then we also have the little hot cocoa one that we did with the little card on the bigger card base. Let me get these little tapes out of the way so that it doesn't interfere with what you guys are looking at. But aren't those just the cutest cards? And again, this is the More Than Autumn set. There's so much you can do with it. And just as a reminder, you can also dress it up for the Christmas season as well. Peppermint's a great flavor for Christmas. So anyway, let me come back and see you guys and say thank you for joining me tonight. I'm really happy to have you here. I love doing this and I love sharing it with you. So when you say hello, it makes my heart smile because I'm so glad you're here and watching me. A couple of things. This is a to-go class. So remember to go out to my website at aprildaviscreations.com, and all the information for the to-go class is there. You're going to want to make sure that you utilize the host code. I'm putting it up here on the screen, but certainly you don't have to jot it down now. You can go to the website and get that as well. And then last but not least, I would like to ask you guys to please like and share this video. It helps me reach other people so that I can share with them. And then it will also be posted to YouTube tomorrow morning. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do that as well. I appreciate the help and being able to get out and reach more people. So again, thank you very much for being here tonight, and I'm excited for next week and what I have to share with you next week. So I look forward to seeing you then. Take care, everyone. Bye.